There's a new outbreak in America. I'm James Scott, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you all you need to know about the Ebola virus.
It's making front page headlines. I'm Rachel Charlip, and up next on WVU News, I'll show you how one West Virginia official aims to change the lives of West Virginia coal miners.
I'm Carly Posey. I'll tell you how one city council decision could save Morgantown a lot of money. Our award-winning WVU News starts now.
Two Dallas nurses have the Ebola virus after treating a patient who died from it. Coming up, what you need to know about this deadly outbreak. I'm James Scott.
And I'm Kylie Putnam. Coal miners in West Virginia can suffer from many health problems, but one senator is fighting to bring help to those who need it. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students at West Virginia University. A Dallas nurse who contracted Ebola says she's doing well after getting the blood transfusion from a survivor of the disease.
But now a second nurse has the Ebola virus as well. I hit the streets to find out more on what residents know about this disease.
This has been a more aggressive Ebola outbreak than we've seen in the past.
Ebola virus.
A deadly Ebola virus.
The current Ebola outbreak in West Africa has infected nearly 7,500 people, and one case has made its way to America. But many Americans don't know much about the disease.
Bacteria has to get into your body. That's pretty much all I know about it.
I know relatively nothing. I thought it was a disease that had been pretty much eradicated, and when it came back around, I was really surprised.
Symptoms can take up to 21 days to develop, and the virus is 50 to 90% fatal. Once you contract the virus, treatment is limited.
It's a disease that for the past 4 decades has been treated by what we call supportive care. You put the patient in the hospital, they get electrolytes, all types of things to help balance them to get through the disease.
According to the CDC, the Ebola virus is not airborne. It only spreads through direct contact with contaminated sources like bedding, bodies, and clothes. Because Ebola and influenza are so similar, people often mistake the two viruses, and nearly 200,000 Americans are hospitalized with the flu each year. Thomas Eric Duncan, who had contracted the only case of Ebola in the United States, died after receiving experimental treatment. There are currently no other confirmed cases in the U.S. While the Ebola virus is rare in the United States, black lung disease is prevalent in West Virginia.
WVU News reporter Rachel Charlip is here with us now to tell us how one state senator is working to help black lung victims. Rachel?
Thanks, Kylie and James. Black lung disease is a condition commonly found in coal miners that causes scarring of the lung tissue. It has no cure and treatment options are limited. I recently spoke to one former coal miner who's living with black lung disease, and he hopes new legislation could help people like him in the future. Once a proud West Virginia coal miner, Gary Hairston now relies on regular oxygen treatments to keep his uncurable black lung disease at bay. Hairston remembers the day when he realized that his work would cost him his life.
It started raining, and I ran up the steps to get out of the rain. Was sitting downstairs thinking, I'm sitting there trying to get my breath and couldn't breathe. Just looking to pass out at any time.
Hairston's black lung could have been prevented if he hadn't been encouraged to turn off his dust mask while in the mine.
They didn't want to get bad samples because then the federal government would come in and be there. They'll be at the mines all the time, trying to regulate the dust.
Black lung is completely preventable, and recent research shows that 3.2% of all miners have the severest form of the disease, which represents a 10-fold increase in the last 15 years. Senator Jay Rockefeller will propose new legislation to deal with preventative care and aftercare for black lung disease.
Bad safety is just a cost of doing business to them as opposed to a human factor, which has always made me very angry because I came here as a social worker working exclusively with coal miners, and I've made them my life cause.
Help keep the younger men from getting black lungs. When they're working, they can have a full life and won't have to worry about getting black lungs.
Senator Rockefeller's legislation will be proposed in November and will ensure lower dust levels are maintained in coal mines. Currently, black lung victims do receive aid from the Black Lungs Benefit Act of 1973, but they get no more than about $1,300 per month. Senator Rockefeller's proposal aims to get people the benefits they deserve in a timely manner. Kylie, back to you.
Senator Jay Rockefeller also met with Japanese executives to improve economic relations between West Virginia and Japan. Rockefeller and Senator Joe Manchin attended the meeting with Governor Earl Ray Tomblin and nearly 50 Japanese businessmen. Currently, the Japanese invest more than $2 billion in West Virginia's economy. There are 20 Japanese companies in the state, the largest being a Toyota plant in Buffalo, West Virginia. These companies provide nearly 3,000 jobs.
While the senators look to improve the state overall, WVU President Gordon Gee gave his first State of the University address since coming back to West Virginia. In his address, President Gee introduced what he calls a Center for Big Ideas. The center hopes to bring students and faculty together to discuss issues in the state and country. Gee said this would allow students to be productive all 168 hours of the week, not just in class. Gee also wants to add 7,000 students to WVU. This would bring the total number up to about 40,000.
Although the state of the university seems to be in good shape, crimes around Morgantown have spiked in recent weeks.
And West Virginia is the only state where the number of violent crimes has increased over the last 20 years. Crime reporter Anthony Pecoraro joins us now. Anthony?
Thanks, James and Kylie. Robberies and assaults are just some of the crimes that have taken place near WVU's campus recently. I spoke to police officials who say there are precautions you can take to stay safe.
It's been making headlines the past few weeks. An armed robbery on High Street, another armed robbery on North Spruce Street, and 2 sexual assaults on the rail trail. For Lenny Skizes, who walks home alone at night, she says these headlines are making her scared.
It's really frightening of what can happen to somebody when they're alone, because it happens to all of us when we're walking back late at night.
WVU police, however, say there are simple steps people can take to significantly reduce their chances of becoming a victim.
You know, don't walk alone. Stay in well-lit areas. If you see something across the street, call the police, send in a live safe message. You know, you have to be engaged.
It was right around here that one of the sexual assaults occurred recently. And with the rail trail spanning across 48 miles through 3 counties in the Mountain State, there's plenty of places for people to hide, such as right here. The 2 sexual assaults occurred within hours of each other. However, WVU students did not receive an emergency alert from university police. Also, no alerts were sent out following both armed robberies. Not knowing if Skizes will be informed the next time a crime occurs, she says she won't be walking alone anymore.
Since I'm a senior, I never thought about it before. I've never had any past experiences, but now I'll be sure to walk home with at least one other person.
Officials say you can decrease your chances of becoming a victim by 90% by staying in a group of 3. Anthony Pecoraro, WVU News, Morgantown.
WVU police do send crime alerts, and all students are automatically signed up for these texts. For more information, visit the website at the bottom of your screen. James and Kylie, back to you.
Thanks, Anthony, for that report. It takes nearly $300,000 for the city of Morgantown to pave and maintain roads each year.
But some residents don't think that's enough. Now new legislation could abandon 2 roads in town. Economic development reporter Carly Posey found out more on how it could save the city money.
Morgantown, Monning area.
The Morgantown City Council recently made a 6-1 decision to no longer maintain Doris Road and Suzanne Road. Some members of the community don't seem to mind as long as the existing roads are better taken care of.
The road conditions are pretty bad in West Virginia, so if there are roads that maybe could be improved by any way that they can come up with money to do it, the better.
The City Council was approached by the developer, who asked the officials if he could have back the roads. The reason why: he wanted to develop more houses on it.
The developer in that area that owned property along both of those roads made a request to annul that property and that public easement in order to reorganize the parcels in his development.
The City of Morgantown currently maintains over 100 miles of roadway. Right here on Suzanne Road, it would have cost the City of Morgantown over $50,000 to take this road from gravel to pavement. The City of Morgantown will save over $100,000 not maintaining the 2 roads. The City Council has not yet decided how to spend that money in the budget. Carly Posey, WVU News, Morgantown.
The population of Morgantown doubles when 60,000 fans come for WVU football games.
And now it's being called one of the best places in the nation for a game day experience. WVU sports anchor Brandon Van Skolt joins us next with more.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a mountaineer.
In more than 100 years of football at WVU, one thing's never changed. Morgantown loves to tailgate.
And it was just named one of the top places for a football fan to be on a Saturday. Sports anchor Brandon Van Skolt has more. Brandon?
Thanks, James and Kylie. USA Today recently published a list of the 10 best Southern college football experiences. And Morgantown made the list for many reasons, like the number of people who packed the stadium and the singing of country roads after each game. I hit the field before the last game, and fans agreed USA Today got it right.
Let's go!
West Virginia University has a historic tradition of great football teams and a terrific environment for game day. And many WVU fans can describe their game day experience in a few short words.
Mountaineer game day, it's just a lot of fun.
It's intensity.
Mountaineer game day, baby. Gotta love it.
Pride. And these guys right now, we're going to do some good stuff this year. I can believe in them. I do believe in them.
University President Gordon Gee says why he thinks WVU football means so much to the Morgantown community.
Well, I think what it means is family. You know, this is a small state, 1.8 million people, and I think that anytime you can get West Virginians together, they love to celebrate the state.
When an average 57,000 Mountaineer fans come out to see their team, they enjoy the sights, the sounds, the traditions, and the winning atmosphere. The Mountaineers have scored over 6,700 points on this field since it opened in 1980. That's 6,700 push-ups for the Mountaineer. After a long day of Mountaineer football, the whole stadium joins together for one final tradition: the singing of country roads.
WVU's next home game is against the Baylor Bears. The last time Baylor came to town, more than 60,000 people packed into Milan Puskar Stadium. One player that fans love to see on game day is quarterback Clint Trickett, and it's his first full season as the starter. Trickett averages over 300 passing yards per game. He's thrown for 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Compare that to last year when he had as many interceptions as touchdowns, 7 each. His success on the field has put him in the Heisman Trophy conversation. Trickett's next time to shine will be against Baylor this weekend. Kylie and James, back to you.
West Virginia will play the underdog when number 4 Baylor comes to town.
But it's sure to be a great game, Kylie.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online at our website.
You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm James Scott.
And I'm Kylie Putnam. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.